Next topic is types of force of friction. Types of force of friction. As we already know that friction is nothing but it is opposing force. It is opposing force. Now there are various type of force of friction, like first of all rolling friction, sliding friction, static friction and fluid friction. Fluid friction means frictions between the different layers of fluid. Fluids means liquid that can flow. So if we consider friction, the example of the static friction, like pushing a wall. Whenever you push a wall, it's have a friction that is called static friction. Static friction do not allow body to move. Dynamic friction, like slipping on a wet floor. Just suddenly a person is going on a wet floor, moving on a wet floor. Suddenly his feet get slipped. So that result in the dynamic friction. Rolling friction, even when we walk on the floor, that's also dynamic, or it's also called kinetic friction. Kinetic friction. Rolling friction, like riding on a bicycle. Riding on a bicycle, because the wheel of the bicycle rolled. When it's moved, it's roll, like it's always roll in forward direction. Fluid friction, like in swimming. When we swim, the different layers of the liquid offer the friction in backward direction. That is called fluid friction. That is called fluid friction. Here, this static friction, static friction is also called self-adjusting friction. Self-adjusting friction. And rolling friction has less value, very less value as compared to the other friction. But if we compare the static, dynamic, rolling and fluid friction value, then rolling friction is always have a very less value. So the rolling friction value is always less.